We're live.
We are live and in action. If you join us here in the next few seconds here on Twitter and YouTube, welcome to La O Times. Oh man,
Look at that, bro.
I
Man,
just
he's
ate.
got the grill going.
I literally just ate, and now I'm hungry again. What is wrong with you? We're doing a little pregame action tonight, everybody. About 30, probably like 40 minutes away from kickoff between Tigres and LAFC. Last night of Leagues Cup for the squad. And we're here to talk about Leagues Cup so far. Kind of look forward to this game tonight and just vibe. So I'm here in my car. I just left dinner with my friends. Alfred and Arnoldo are up in the H, throwing down on the grill, and Lou Pop holding it down in Austin for us like he always is. So welcome everybody to Low Times. Thanks for joining us for a little pregame show. I do want to start with a little reveal, something that I've told you three guys about in our little Twitter chat. My package came in today.
Oh,
Hey, hold on,
What is
Dennis.
it? What is
give us some clues. Maybe we can guess, dude.
Okay,
Is this long sleeve or short sleeve? First of all,
short sleeve.
short sleeve. Okay, so that rules out anything from this
training
season.
or game?
It's a game jersey.
So it's match worn.
Yes.
Oh,
All right. Let's see here.
What's up, Frank?
say hi, Frank.
Hey, everybody.
¿Qué onda?
John.
Go
What
ahead, Luke.
position did the player play, bro?
Striker.
Nico Ibanez.
Nah, no way.
I would be so jealous if it wasn't.
Hey, no. Hey, Lou actually buys all those match worns in Nico
Yeah.
Ibanez. bro. Like, he wins all those every single time.
It's not match worn, like match
It's
worn.
what about match issued? Is it match issued? Does it have the number on the back and everything, or no?
I mean, it's got a number and a name on the back, yeah, but
Striker.
How do you
Yeah.
get it?
It's a match.
And it's obviously not APG. Oh,
you
so
perhaps.
it could.
You got Gacelo's jersey?
So
No, no way.
it could be Gignac.
No. Listen, the big clue is that this is coming from classicfootballshirts.com. Shout out to them, by the way, where they have retro jerseys at the wazoo. And they don't have a ton of Tigres stock,
Tigres
but when
player?
they do, it's you better snap it up before it goes away.
Hashtag sponsored.
What era?
I wish. What era? The golden age.
All right,
And
so
in
it's
Valencia.
2015 to 2017.
Okay. Yeah.
Vargas.
It's
El
home
Tuberman.
jersey.
Yes.
Foreign player?
All right, so you don't have the 2017, so I'm gonna go 2017 home jersey, and I'm gonna go Edu Vargas. That's my guess.
You've got almost everything right. So it is the Final Regia jersey
That's small.
With-
That's Inter Valencia.
with
Lucas.
the star.
No,
But-
what's the one that retired? After the game, he retired.
Damian.
El Chaparro.
Damian
No,
Alvarez.
no, it's-
Damian.
No, it's APG. There we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bro.
Good call, dude.
Bro.
Nice.
Okay, so listeners, viewers, I don't think especially if you're not in Mexico, this jersey is almost impossible to find because people obviously keep it because it's a historic jersey. And when people are selling it, it's crazy expensive. So the fact that I was able to find this at all is impressive. And with APG's number and name, it's even cherry on top. So
Well,
I'm down
congrats, Dennis.
about $120, but worth it. So,
Man, that's a beautiful, beautiful piece, man.
and it's like in basically mint condition. Like they sell used jerseys, like they barely have any like brand new stuff, and it's like it feels brand new. Like it's incredible. So now I just need the 2011 road jersey, with the gold
Oh
stripe.
yes.
But the one
Yes.
I already have it, but I need it in my size. I need another one. That's what I'm saying because I'm greedy. So, anyway, so enough about that. Thank you, Classic Football Shirts, for that. I've been dying to get it. Let's talk about this game. I have not seen the full lineup. I just saw that Gignac is starting because Ronaldo tweeted about it. So, can we please get the full lineup out for tonight's match?
It's the same lineup, except we're plugging in APG instead of Gacelo Lopez.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Nahuel, Aquino, Zwarg, Urata,
Urata.
Garza, Gorriarán, Bruneta, Correa, Lainez, Ozzy, and Gignac up top.
Woo.
The
Good, it's
new
a good lineup, bro.
the new third center back addition of Nando Gorriarán.
Yeah,
Oh,
facts. Facts.
Working
And
though.
is it true that Boanga is not even on the bench for them?
I hope so. I hope Vladimir leaks it during the game that he's signed on, bro. I'm sticking to it. I mentioned it to Alfred tonight. Jose Rosales gives us that winger, possible like wing back position and depth. Gets us to the number 2 contender. Boanga puts us as the number 1 contender for that cup,
Okay.
for the leagues
Yeah.
and the Liga MX.
Yeah,
We're
I
one
mean,
player away from truly contending, 2 from like being the contender.
Yeah. facts. Facts. Okay.
Offensiva all the way.
Facts. Facts.
Que defienda Dios.
Yes.
como quiera hay que
Also-
tener la defensiva bien puesta, pero
Sí, ni modo, pero por eso tenemos a Nahuel, güey. Hey, how many people are in the are watching right now? What's our numbers at?
I don't know, man. Let me check.
Yeah, where we at? I don't know though. How many people we got watching?
Well, what?
Number.
How many people we got watching the show right now?
30.
You, your cat.
30? Okay. 30 people. If you're hanging out,
We need to share it on Twitter, guys. Share it on Twitter.
yeah, retweet. If you got YouTube, share the link out. Hang out in the chat. We want to hear your thoughts about what we got going on so far. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna start driving home, and I'm gonna turn my camera off, and I'm gonna keep my AirPods on. Don't pod and drive, kids.
Okay.
But let's talk about Leagues Cup so far. We played 2 games. We're the only team in Liga MX with 6 points, which is great. Let's talk about the Houston game really quickly from last week. That was a 4-1 victory. Correa 2, Lainez Rocket, Ociel off a beautiful pass from the BP of football Champagne, Juan Pablo Vigon. Let's talk about that, especially you guys who were in Houston physically at the game. Ready to go.
Who was physically at the game?
We
You
were.
Okay.
Dude,
You too.
great atmosphere. 21,000 people attendance. It was just an awesome experience. I think that
About 19,000 tickets.
Yeah. I would say about 19,000 were our fans. Atmosphere was electrifying from the get-go. I think overall, the main thing that I took out of it, it's like the supporters were there,
Oh, yeah.
but they didn't like overshadow the general fan base. It was a big show out on a Tuesday night. I think the tickets were a little bit more fairly priced. I'm sorry. And it made it more accommodating for people to go out on a Tuesday night. In Houston, the weather wasn't so bad. It was just a great night for a great victory and a great performance by Angel Correa.
And starting with the night before, too, with the previa that they had on Monday night, it was actually a lot of people. It was good. It was a good turnout for everything.
The turnout was good, but I mean, the disappointing part, I guess, was just the team's effort for that pre-match party. I mean, I guess essentially, they wanted to bring out players or former players, and nobody came out. But the fans were there, and I think that we carried on that same energy towards the game because obviously everybody showed up, and that was great for the team as well.
You know what happened is that Palmera Rivas was supposed to show up, but now he's on multimedia. Es en serio.
Facts.
Bro,
Bro,
we're serious here.
The man took the bigger contract.
Dog, but why did they only start promoting the Tigres week stuff like 2 days before it actually started? That's what I don't understand. They should have been promoting that like a month ago. Why did they wait until the Friday before? That I don't understand. But that's our team.
I can see that, too, especially with being the first game in Houston, which you have a lot of fan base. We have probably the biggest fan base out of all the other teams here in Houston with the Tigres. But I think it was lack of communication between the team and everybody else, because if they would have made it a lot bigger, people would have known a lot sooner.
Yeah, it was very last minute. We only knew like a week before.
Yeah, I feel like last year when they did the whole like Tigres week, it was a lot more preparation, more marketing. We did they went to the consulate. We were there, covering the press conference. Like it was just the radio. Some radio people were there covering so they can advertise the game. So I feel like the approach was a lot more with a bigger effort. And this time around, Not sure why, because this is now the third Leagues Cup, and you have this under your belt where you made a Tigres week, and Houston's going to show out. I think that the team failed to execute a better strategy in terms of soaking in the fan base in Houston.
Yeah. Oh well, it is what it is. There's been some issues with that this year with the Twitter account, the English account. Actually, even the Instagram
like
too.
they've definitely slowed down on just their interactions online and participating with the crowd. It feels like last year, like they had somebody dedicated. Look at that! Oh my God, bro! It seems like last year, they were full on with the Tigres English account, tweeting all the time. Every single game, you kind of saw like, back and forth tweeting between the regular official account and the English account. And nowadays, you don't even get tweets during the game. Now you barely get like a tweet after the game, post game, or whatever. So it might be maybe it's just the same CM handling both accounts. Who knows? But yeah, they've definitely slowed down on their intentions, for the U.S. market, which is a shame.
Hire me.
I think it might also be just because of the team we played. Like last year, we played Miami. It was a bigger.
Yeah,
it was a bigger team, maybe.
Bigger deal.
With Messi coming into NRG for the first time. It's crazy because that just popped up on my Snapchat. Like,
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
And I guess it was a bigger, more event. Now, when he didn't come, tickets went down, but the fans still showed up. So.
Oh yeah, we were in there.
But
it was definitely an opportunity for us to expand on what was done last year. Like, but it feels like we took a step back rather than a step forward.
Yeah. Lou, as
the
someone
fan base
who
carried us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Lou, I'll kick it to you. Your thoughts on that first game last week, as someone who was watching from home.
Great game. The crowd looked really into it. I think there's a guy on YouTube called Da Bronco, which I had never seen before, who did a live vlog of that, and it looked great. The atmosphere was awesome. I could tell like the fans were really into it. I think the fans are really happy to see Correa. Every time he touched the ball, you could hear like the crowd kind of getting into it. So I thought our guys showed up. There was, who was it? Glenn Davis was trying to get the Houston Dynamo crowd going and trying to get them to support the team, and we still invaded their stadium. So I was really proud of our team and our fans for
that will always happen here
that.
in Houston.
Yeah.
It's like that crazy TikTok video that guy did.
The guy that came from Dallas.
The Bronco.
Yeah, the Bronco.
Yeah, the Bronco. That's the Bronco.
Like he was all on thinking it's like, man, he brought the jersey, showed out, like taking videos.
Yeah,
I shot my shot on
watching. That was
Twitter
hilarious,
DM, bro. Trying to get him on the pod.
Yeah, bro, that was great. By the way, speaking of Glenn Davis, for all you who are watching and listening, go check out Arnoldo's appearance on Glenn Davis's show. I watched the YouTube video of it last night. It was great. It is on Arnoldo's Twitter, on the La U Times Twitter account. You can find it, retweet it on there, or just look up Soccer Matters with Glenn Davis, because that's the name of the show. I have no other thoughts about the game, that first game, other than the jerseys look slightly better than I thought that they were going to, but they still are hideous. So I'll just leave it at that. Anyways, let's go to the San Diego game, because that game ended up being, I felt like, a little bit more interesting because of the circumstances that San Diego was in. They didn't start Chucky. Dreyer was suspended for a red card. So I thought that they were going to be an easier opponent, but their press was pretty impressive in the first half, causing us some problems. Obviously, the goal that they scored was a little bit annoying, but I think the biggest thing about that game was the resilience of the team to kind of evade that press, and then also, obviously, Correa basically making something out of nothing, the first goal, and then capitalizing on a really good pass on the second goal. But what are y'all's thoughts on that San Diego game, besides what I just said?
I'm gonna say real quick, because I didn't get to watch much of the game as I was working in Nashville, but from what I did saw and from what we've seen just throughout these first few games of this season with Pizarro, El poder de la amistad, man. That's pretty much it. Like, I mean, what can you say when the whole team? You can tell that the whole team is hustling. The whole team is, is putting pressure on the ball. It's trying to collaborate in a team effort, both offensively and defensively. I think that's what gets results in the end, and it worked on Saturday versus San Diego.
I mean, it's no mystery, Dennis, that we struggle against teams that press us.
Yep.
And San Diego from the get-go had that intent to press us. And they did a great job of frustrating us, especially those first 20 minutes. I thought we were kind of frustrated. But the team kept their composure. I thought we did an excellent job of not making any mistakes. I think part of what's killed us in the past, like just going back to like the Columbus game, is just mistakes, silly mistakes when playing out the back, forcing passes, that sort of thing. I didn't see much of it. So I was really proud of the guys. And obviously now having Correa as kind of your relief valve is been so critical. And then
He's
just
the magician.
what
Magician.
Pizarro's been able to do to be able to get more clean passers in that back line to be able to play the long ball when needed. I think that's been brilliant because now you have a guy that can bring the ball down so cleanly and with just one turn can turn that into a scoring opportunity. I think that's been key. So now we know, okay, we can play even when pressed, but we also have the option of just playing direct, which I think
Well,
is really important.
and that's one of the things that I was commenting to Alfred and Frank here before we started recording, is that now you see at least the intent and an idea to play with high possession, especially with the move of Nando turn center back when we aren't possessing the ball, and that gives us a clean build up out of the back, and everyone's involved. And now I see the vision, or at least the idea that Guido Pizarro has, with Romulo getting the starts over Joaquim, which we have been surprised because Joaquim was one of the best defenders in the league in the last season and was nominated to best defender in the league. And then you have a guy like Romulo who was brought in by a different coaching staff, now starting in the back
For a different position.
for a different position, and a position that he was somewhat familiar with, but not in a back line of three. Now he's doing it in a back line of four, but the possessions out of the back have been clean. It's still there's some rust in establishing that chemistry, especially because I was telling Alfred and Frank, you have four players playing out of their normal position in Nando, Bruneta, Romulo, and Nando Borreran. And even Chuy Garza, a fifth one, probably a little bit more acclimated there. But ultimately, the idea that we were thinking that it could happen is presented in a different way. The team gained more spirit and attacking, was smart. Even in that San Diego game, they started off hot, and meaning San Diego. They were, like we say back in Monterrey, Pedro Rancho, right? And they were all up on our throat, and we were able to establish the game, slow it down, build with possession, and take over the tempo. And I think that's been the key. And I think that we all talked about it a couple weeks ago, and this was the biggest test in terms of what the Leagues Cups could provide. Is seeing more Guido Pizarro's in good momentum and arriving in great shape to this Leagues Cup and continuing to develop the playing style that we want to see. And like I said, it's almost night and day with what we experienced at the end of last season when he took over. The idea is definitely more established.
I've been super proud of Pizarro, dude, because not only has he been pragmatic, but he's also kept his word. He told us last season, we're going to bring back possession to the team. He's brought back possession, but we're also going to be a team that goes on the attack, that tries to be the protagonist in the game. And he's done that. And he's done it not marrying to a certain tactical scheme or a certain formation. We said it before the season started. He doesn't have the players yet to be able to play the system he wants, which is 5 at the back. So he did the right thing by switching to 4. But he's added wrinkles to that 4-2-3-1, which I thought is really interesting. Like, for example, that move Arnoldo was mentioning earlier of moving Gorriarán to that left stopper position is brilliant, dude, because he's figured out that he can have his cake and eat it too. So in certain situations where we're on the attack, yeah, the team shape is like a 4-2-3-1, but when we transition into defense and having to play out the back and going on offense, then that turns into like a 3-4-3, which has been really interesting because the three that he has are really good passers, people that are comfortable with the ball, and you can start to see what he wants to do. It's just really been brilliant. I feel like he's gotten the best of both worlds. He's playing with what he has, but at the same time mixing up his formation to fit, whatever the circumstances of the game are allowing him.
And I think that the what's also important is just that the players have bought on to that idea, because it could easily be, Correran say like, bro, I don't want to play out the back, from a stopper, position. Bruneta could be saying, I don't want to play from behind midfield, but they're not. Like, you can tell that. I mean, I think that Pizarro's biggest contribution so far just has been his power of convincing, the players, because they all seem convinced into the idea of play that he wants them to play.
And that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up, Alfred, is that he also kept his word on that, because he said that last season, as soon as he took the job, he said the playing time is going to go to the players that have the courage to adapt to the system that I set. So he's basically giving playing time, and most of the playing time, to the players who are actually willing to take the task that he's set forth for them. The guys like Correran, who have been willing to play like a left stopper, guys like Bruneta, who are willing to drop deep and play more like a holding mid role. Yeah,
like, honestly, when we were talking about Bruneta at the end of the season, we were all kind of convinced that, hey, if somebody comes and buys Bruneta, let him go. But it almost seems like this is a different guy than the one that we saw the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, and honestly, your team is better, right, when you have guys that are multidimensional like that, because during the game, you ask them to play different roles. Sometimes they have to drop deep. If you're absorbing a lot of pressure, you do want those guys to drop in deep and be able to play out the back.
Yep.
And then when you're attacking, you do want them to push forward and be able to help on the attack. So I think he's getting the best out of everybody.
Picking up on that San Diego game, it's like the thing about the Liga MX, they're not used to that pressure like what the MLS does. Like, they want to pressure you in the backfield. You seen what happened on Sunday when Cruz Azul lost 7-0. They're pressuring them in the back, making mental errors, costing all these goals, and that's what happened. The good thing is that Tigres were able to, to beat that pressure and then go to the attack. And when they're on the attack, well, errors happen on their side of the ball. The same thing would happen with the Dynamo, with Correa on the 1-on-1 with the goalie. It's like, there's opportunity. If we can break that pressure, there's opportunity on the side.
And the fact that now we're capitalizing on those opportunities.
Yeah.
Because now we have, a player like Correa, who he gets a chance, and like even a chance that, like the one that we have against San Diego, like any other player would have easily just smacked that ball straight into the goalie. Yeah. What do? He just chips it to the side.
Does Nico put that in?
He doesn't.
No.
Nico, no.
No, and honestly, like anybody besides Gignac, like Prime Gignac, doesn't get that in, bro.
Yeah,
like
Gignac,
those are only two.
And I know Alfred doesn't like stats, but the stats prove that Correa's a freak, bro. His XG against Houston Dynamo was 1.11. His XG against San Diego was 1.07. Dude, he is shooting like. So what that tells you is that every opportunity he gets, he puts it away. He's scoring more. So he had a brace, in both games, right? A brace in both games. And so he's scoring more than what his XG is telling you. He's a freak, bro. He's just amazing.
To my defense and my ideology, I thought that he had excellent games against Toluca and against Juarez, right? So, I mean, in the end, I don't think that obviously that the stats every single time coincide with what a player's performance actually reflects on the field. Just the fact that now, his goals kind of, give him that bump up on the stats. But in the end, I think that from the get-go, since Correa started playing, he's been on a gradual, incline, working better with his teammates and, getting a chance to learn how they play, how they move, where they pass the ball to. I think that connection with Bruneta is going to be key throughout the season. And I'm honestly surprised. If we if we continue this trend, maybe even the estimates that we had for goals, assists that we were giving Correa at the beginning of the season might even come short.
Yeah, dude. Going back to your point, like he wasn't amazing against Toluca or Juarez. But what I'm seeing is just his movement is amazing, and he's got such a high work rate. He covered 5.2 miles against Houston Dynamo, and he covered 6.3 miles versus San Diego. So the dude just has a huge motor, bro. Guy can cover like a ton of ground, and it's just amazing. He's gonna be such a key piece for us.
Two players I want to talk about real quick before we kind of talk about tonight. Gacelo Lopez, who has come in and been a positive surprise. Nico gets hurt in that first game against Houston with an injury. He hasn't played since then. And Garcelo has taken that opportunity and has run with it. He's honestly done everything right. His movement has been really good. His hold-up play is strong. The only thing that is missing is goals. And he's had a couple of really good opportunities in both games so far in Leagues Cup that he could have put away and honestly should have put away. But I think that for a guy that we had really no idea about, a guy who was on loan, who we may not keep after this year, I think that there's nothing bad to say about
And he's
these
young.
and these last shifts that he's put in. I think that he's done a good job filling in that void and being a different sort of striker that we've seen before. I don't know what else I want to add to him specifically, but I think it's fair to say that all of us have been impressed by what he's done so far.
No, it was a great pickup, and that play, with that stop and turn and shoot, like that was a goal. If with any other goalie, he was just in the right place at the right time. But it was a great shot. It was a great control. It showed the kind of player he is, the caliber player he is. Like he gets that one opportunity, he's gonna take it and he's gonna score. It's like it's the same thing what we thought with everybody else that we had. He's gonna do great, and he has the support around him that's gonna make him elevate his game even more.
Yeah, I think we got a good so far start to the Leagues Cup, and I think the performance has to continue tonight. I think that the opportunity is there, the stage is there, and the rivalry that's been established at LAFC is also there. The French connection from past signings of Giroud, as well as now, Boanga being there, not being available tonight. I mean, it's just a really good. The goalkeeper Lloris. It's just a really good setup for tonight to end this first round on a positive and strong impact to carry on to the quarterfinals and see if we can win this cup, because the path is nearby. And one of the things that we were talking about prior to recording is and I mentioned it yesterday on the show with Glenn on ESPN, was, we as fans, we sit here and complain about, we want to play Libertadores, we want to be in better competitions, but unfortunately that's not the case. And so what's in front of us is to compete in this Leagues Cup. And I personally like the rivalry of playing Houston, even though the competition in theory is inferior. It is a very pleasant feeling to see the team be broadcasted in English, as well as competing with some of these elite MLS teams and
winning.
And just being a household name in media.
And I think that in the end, we've seen how the U.S. media continues to compliment us and continues to call us, a Mexican giant, and that's only going to continue to, happen if we have these type of performances and we're able to take these tournaments seriously.
And going back on the fan base tonight, it's going to be a good fan base. LAFC has a good fan base. They show up at their games. I wish we'd have had a little more time, more fans to show up tonight. We'll see how they show up, but because I have friends going from Monterrey traveling to the game today, and I wish I could have been there.
Yeah, it's
gonna go there.
It's just a good outing, right? It's LA. It's just a prominent stage.
Play some sad music, then, Israel.
I know, man. Sad music. And it's gonna be my first time at LAFC Stadium. I've been to Galaxy Stadium. I've been there. We conquered that stadium a couple of times in the Copa de Campeones. That's great, but
bro, we're about to get off this pod, man, and start eating, because oh my god,
bruh,
that looks so good.
It does look so good. Let me do a couple more things real quick. Looking at their lineup, I've got it pulled up right now. As we know, it is a little bit of a rotated thing for them. I'll just say it really quickly.
That one's
Their backup goalie is playing because if you don't know, viewer listener, Hugo Lloris is currently in France dealing with a green
Well, it's
card
already
issue.
9:25. It's about to start.
Their back line is Tafari, one of their center backs who they got from FC Dallas, a guy named Nielsen, who I don't know, a left back who I've literally never heard of in my life before, and Sergi Palencia, who's actually pretty good. Their midfield is a bunch of newer guys. Frankie Amaya, who many of us know as the fiance of Mari Carmen Reyes. Sorry, Edgar. Saldana, who I've never heard of before, and then Ryan Raposo, who comes in from Vancouver. So they're not even starting Tillman
No David
or
Martinez.
David Martinez is playing on the right wing. Yaboa is playing on the left wing, and Jeremy Abobasi is playing a striker. And he was actually starting ahead of Giroud earlier in the season. Igor Jesus, one of their midfielders, is pretty good, is not playing. Segura, one of their better defenders, is not playing. I mean, they've heavily rotated. Bowanga's not even on the bench. This should be a very winnable game. Looking at our bench really quick, it's the same bench basically as we've seen before. Gacelo's on the bench in place of Gignac. Since Gignac is starting, everything else is pretty much the same as usual. Joaquin once again on the bench. So, I mean, well, I don't see Tapia actually. So, yeah, I don't see Tapia on the subs list. We all have one goalkeeper tonight, it looks like. No, we do. We have Felipao and we have Carrera, the new kid. So no Tapia tonight on the bench in case we need him for anything. But everything else is pretty much the same. Um, I mean,
guys,
look,
what do you guys
guys,
think of Gignac being a starter for tonight?
it's
I
interesting.
like it.
I like it too. I didn't think it would happen. But this is probably the game in which it does happen. You already have 6 points and they've heavily rotated, so and they don't have a good back line. So maybe this is a chance for him to finally get on the score sheet for the first time in forever.
I haven't seen our guys be this motivated for a tournament of this type in a long time, bro. Like just looking at the faces of our players, what they're saying in the press conferences, it just seems like the group right now is really motivated. I don't know who mentioned el poder de la amistad, but I mean it's real and it's happening. I I'm really looking forward to what they can do, and not only in this tournament, but obviously in the more important one, which is in the league, because I just feel like there's really good chemistry off the pitch, and our players look really motivated. I think Correa's kind of been the guy that is giving us new life, and Pizarro obviously being our leader. I think it's just all coming in together. I was hopeful last year with Pizarro. Obviously, we didn't have the pieces and we fell short. But now I'm just a lot more confident, man. I feel like this squad has everything. And if we add one or more or two more pieces, man, I think we're gonna be the team to beat in the league. I think this team is really poised.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see the connection that Gignac can have with Correa. I think I mentioned it at the start of the season. It's what I wanted to see. I believe that obviously we all know that Gignac is not in his prime. He's getting older. He's not as fast as he used to. But I believe that because now you have a player that is smart, that with the ball, that can perhaps even understand himself better on the field with Gignac, that he won't need to run. He'll be able to communicate with Correa on the field to find the right space, and Correa will be able to find him, to put him in a position, to score. So I'm really excited. I think that Gignac can still give us something. I think that he still wants to at least reach his 200 Liga goals. Maybe Frank was mentioning, reaching Cardoso as most goals for a single team. And it may be hard, but with Correa alongside him, it's something that's definitely a lot more easy.
Well, he's going to take away the focal of the point of the attack, right?
Yeah.
Andre has had that for the longest, even as he's aged. he's had the spotlight amongst defenders, but now you have a shifty, skillful, talented guy that can get into spaces and create for his teammates. So that should open up more opportunities for Gignac to score easier goals, and that's what we're looking for now in this age in his career.
And it's more like of a passing of the torch. When we signed Nico Ibanez, we were thinking he came from, Pachuca, like he's going to be scoring this and that. It took a little slowdown, but now with Correa, has the same skill as Gignac. When he comes from Europe to come over here, it's like, he has that same touch, that same, intelligence with the ball.
Yeah.
If it's going to be soft, he'll put it in the net. If you want to go hard, he can do it too. But it's going to be a Gignac season. It might be his last season. We don't know, but it's going to be more like he's leaving it in his hands.
Yeah.
And it's, with this first game tonight, him starting, it's going to be great. I feel like, we're going to score 2 in the first half.
Oh, wow. Nice.
With Ozzy playing a lot better and Lainez playing a lot better, Gignac's chances have gone up a lot more. He's got to do a lot less work now. And then obviously, you don't even have to mention having Correa right next to him or behind him. I mean, it's going to be his he's going to have a lot less work. He's not going to have to worry as much about carrying that offense.
Yeah, absolutely. Predictions. I'm going, you know what? I'm going 3-0.
3-1. 3-1. And I think Gignac scores 1 tonight.
Yeah. Frank, what's your prediction? I know you just said it. I need you to say it again.
My prediction was the first half. I feel like it's going to be 4-1 again. It's going to be a goal to Gignac.
Oh.
It's going to be another brace from Correa, and I think Lainez will get on the board tonight.
Okay.
I like a nice 2-0 victory.
Tuca way.
Yeah.
The Tuca way. Facts. Lou?
Yeah, I'm with Arnoldo, man. I want Tuca ball tonight. Just have high possession. If we can be anywhere near the 60s, I think that's ideal. Maybe 20 shots tonight, half of them on goal or something like that, I think would be perfect. 2-0, clean sheet. I think that would be the perfect night for me.
I think one last thing for me, I think it'll be really interesting to see how the team manages the game on the field with their play and then also with substitutions, knowing that you have to get on a plane tonight to head back to Monterrey, and we have Viernes Botanero this week. So it's a really quick turnaround between games. So I would imagine that there will be some earlier subs, perhaps. Like Gignac is definitely not going to play the full 90. I would be stunned if he did. And I expect some other guys to get a little bit of a rest towards the end of the game. I think that'll be really interesting to watch to see what happens there.
Pueblita played tonight too, so they'll be on short rest as well. But I think that Pueblita game might be a good opportunity to get some youth minutes in. Would love to see Parra. Would love to see Parra get minutes.
I like that comment
maybe
by
one
AJ.
more youth player.
I love that comment.
Energy is different this year,
it
man.
Definitely does feel that way. We're all excited as to watch Tigres again.
Yeah,
I can see that what you said. Like with Gignac starting tonight and with him playing 30 minutes the other night, he probably won't play Friday night. Just with him resting and Garcelo on the bench, So it's like, tonight's gonna be his night to shine. He'll probably play 60 minutes and then,
Dennis, do we know if we advance? Do we know when the next game would be for Leagues Cup?
Yes. So if we advance, this is the rules and the scenarios. If we advance, we are the number 1 seed in Liga MX because we would be the only team to finish with 9 points. If we win tonight.
If we win.
If we win outright. If we win on penalties, a little bit different. I think Toluca won, so they're going to be on 8 points, and then I think it's just a matter of goal differential and all that. If we advance, the quarterfinal of the game will either be August 19th or August 20th, one of those 2 days. If we finish as the number 1 seed in the Liga MX table, we will have hosting privileges, which means we will get to pick where we go for that game only, as far as I understand.
Houston.
And I understand Double Elimination has already nominated Dallas, right?
Well, Dallas is unfortunately not on the list that is in the Leagues Cup handbook. But
Q2, baby, Q2.
Austin and Houston are. So I would imagine it would be one of those two.
It would be Houston just with the fan base that's already here. plus the ones that are willing to travel from Monterrey.
Yeah.
Like, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's finish with this number 1 spot tonight, and then see where everything goes.
And I really like how they changed it this year, because now we have some time to plan ahead for that. We're like last year and the year before, it's like, okay, you advance. It's like, okay, where are we going in 3 days? And then where we're going 3 days after that. It just became like last year when, oh, que rico. Like last year when we got done with that Miami game, it's like, okay, where are we going? And then the next day we found out we were going to be in Austin 2 days later. So we scrambled to get to Austin, right? Like,
Yeah.
thankfully there's a little bit more of a gap next or in 2 weeks from now for that next game. And then if we advance to the semifinal, words are really hard. The semifinal is either August 26th or August 27th, and we will already have the bracket figured out by Thursday night when this phase ends. And so we'll have a decent idea as to what the pathway could look like to a final, which will be at the end of the month. I believe it's the August 31st.
What I was telling the guys here that's important is that I think that this obviously the whole format of the Leagues Cup changed, but it kind of benefits us in a way, because you're basically you have your initial group games or whatever, or your qualifying games, which obviously we've done great, and we could end up getting 3 for 3, but essentially you're just 3 other games away from getting a title. That's something that you can't really get in any other type of tournament, and we really got to take advantage of it. Any type of win that we can get, any type of trophies that we can get in the vitrinas, it's going to be good. It's going to be good for the team. It's going to be good for Pizarro. Just in general, it's something that we haven't won anything since in a couple of years. So
we got to give reputation to this Leagues Cup, and it's got to start with like people like winning teams, big teams, household names in American soccer media.
Yeah, because if America would win this, then it would be like, oh, now it's worth it, right? Yeah. So it's got to be the same for us. We got to win it and make sure that we taunt it and we show everyone that we're the winners of Leagues Cup.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I think that was
I'm not sure how everything plays out, but say two teams make it to the 2 Mexican teams make it to the final. Where would they play the final? What will benefit them the most money wise?
So for what? So
like, because if you think about it, say los Tigres y Toluca juegan.
So that is based on,
where would that game be played?
Yeah, that's based on, they have a list of how they ranked the teams before they did the draw. I believe Tigres is ahead of Toluca. I think we're the 5th ranked team in the large table between all 36 teams, and I think Toluca might be 7th, or it's either Toluca's 4th or we're 5th. And so if it's a,
but
if
would
it's
it be
a two,
taken to Mexican soil?
No,
I think that's
no, it would be in the
it would be here,
it would be in the
USA.
US. It would be in the US, and
Okay.
it would be from that list of neutral venues that they've already picked, which
at the
includes
neutral
Austin
venue. See, yeah,
and Houston. And there's other venues that I don't remember off the top of my head. Now, if it's us and quién sabe, I don't know, Juarez, who's doing really good right now, or Mazapan even. If it's one of those two, then I think we would have choice as to where we go.
we'll play. See,
Yeah. So
That's the last missing equation, or part of the equation, right? Is getting the teams to play in Mexico. Like, obviously there's probably stipulations that it gets played in the U.S. in preparation for the World Cup and to attract fan base to games and ticket sales.
yeah,
But
I'll
I
tell you what
think-
the stipulations are. Is this a bunch of
It's
this?
yeah,
it's green.
It's the green. Like to be honest, mira, out of all the games that have been played, and not being biased, but the Tigres on Tuesday, probably the most fans there out of every single game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm talking about
us in America for sure.
I'm talking about from Portland,
But
that
even
have
the
a
America
not
game
even
wasn't-
America.
yeah.
The American games, they haven't shown up because it's their
Chivas. I think Chivas had a good showing.
They did have a great showing. In
well
Charlotte,
because they showed up in California, right?
Charlotte,
And
the
Charlotte.
Charlotte game, they had a really good
The
showing.
Charlotte
that was
shows up
surprising.
everywhere though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got a good fan base that travels. Like when we went down there to play Pachuca, I want to say for the Copa de Campeones, and it was a double header. It was us against Pachuca and America against Chivas. I ain't gonna lie, it was more Chivas fans than anything out there, and it was our Copa de Campeones. But I'm like, damn, like okay, like but they showed up in deep. That's why Chivas show up in deep. win or lose, they're there. So, but
I got the game on right now, guys, and Son is at LAFC Stadium.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
gets the
wow.
privilege. He gets the privilege of watching
APG.
Tigres tonight.
he gets the privilege of watching Correa.
Tonight,
Yeah,
baby.
bro.
He's like
Okay.
he's gonna determine his stuff tonight. Like, man, I gotta
Yeah,
play
I
him
should have
this
gone to
next.
Tigres.
I gotta play him. I gotta play him next year in this cup. But
Man, I
You know,
I hope
the
that he-
league, the league's cup really got set up to be able to play. What they ideally wanted was the best 4 Liga MX teams versus the best 4 MLS teams, but it hasn't happened. I think
Yeah.
there's been a lot. You know, Cruz Azul dropped the ball. America hasn't been great, so
Rayados.
I don't think they're gonna get what they want. But
Rayados,
the
Chivas,
Rayado, what's that team, bro? I don't even know who you're talking about.
yeah.
Rayados are doing Rayados thing. So
Yeah, bro.
they're already eliminated before Game 3 started.
Yeah, bro. You know what I need? I need Gignac to spend about half of his time on the field, just like trying to find Boanga wherever he's at, and just like negotiating with him, just him alone, like from the field, being like, "Oh yeah, wait, come play with us and come be my successor."
Pello Maldonado said that the Rosales deal, the negotiation is still ongoing, but that any other player that comes, we need to sell. So that means we need to get rid of Cordova and we need to get rid of Antuna. And
Altuna, I'm
so
down for that, 100%. I
you
never
still don't
understood
think we want to get rid of Cordova, bro?
man, Corda
You still on
brought
the
us the
fence?
Octava. He brought us the Octava. I think he earned a little bit more time, to be honest.
I mean, out of the two, you probably want to let go of Antuna.
Oh
Obviously,
yeah,
first.
but you know, Arnoldo already said he's not even worth a nickel, bro.
No,
Anyway.
yeah. But given the fact that Cordoba's contract is up in December, he's gonna go free anyways.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if there's already negotiations, if there's already teams interested, we got to take the money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Any deal is a good deal.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay,
Show
should we
my
wrap
food.
it here so we can watch the game? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. One more food shot for us, real quick.
Yeah, 1 second.
While they do that, thanks for watching, listening, everybody. Dios mío,
You're killing me, bro.
bro. I wish I
No,
was down
but
there.
that's just half of it. That's
This is
just
the
half.
first time I've ever said this in my life. I wish I was in Houston right now.
Y no invitan, bro. No invitan.
No invitan para nada. Anyways, thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for watching. The game is on right now as we speak. If you don't know where to watch, the only place to watch tonight is on Apple TV on MLS Season Pass. So
No
go.
TV Azteca, Dennis.
It's on Azteca, I think, in Mexico.
In
Maybe
Mexico.
I'm
Oh,
it maybe
so
I'm
not on
Canal 7.
Azteca in the U.S.
No, not Estrella. It's on Azteca, Mexico.
No FS1, no TUDN tonight. It's just MLS Season Pass here for this game. So tune in there. As far as us goes, I don't know. We'll probably be back at some point this week because we got to talk about this game and then maybe look ahead a little bit to Friday. So we may be back later in the week. We'll I don't know. We may not even say anything about it. We may just pop up on your feed on Twitter the next few days. We may even do a post game show for crazy. I don't know. We're just kind of flying by the seat of our pants here on Low Times, but we'll be back at some point later this week or next. I can guarantee that at least. So thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with us a little bit pregame. Go ahead and get to Apple TV right now. Arriba la U. We'll talk to you guys next time. Ciao for now.
Peace.
Peace.
Take care, guys.
Arnoldo, end the recording.
Arriba la U. I don't know if I click. There it is.